All right, guys. So before we get started here, I'd like to give a shout out to my dad. It's his 77th birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. I hope you're having a good day in quarantine zone down on Long Island in New York. I also like to give another shout out to Dylan Davison, our fearless leaders, Kelly and Zeke's daughter. It's her fourth birthday. So happy birthday, Dylan. So on that, welcome to the second episode of the Durso Dispatch, proudly presented to you by the Kelly Brush Foundation. I am your host, Greg Durso, the program director at the KBF. Each week, I'll be on here with a guest. You get to meet some of our past grant recipients and people in the adaptive sports world, as well as talk to them about their current scope of their life during this alternate reality and the interesting things they have done in the past and continue to do. But most importantly, through all this, introduce them to you guys as an awesome resource for the future. So without further ado, let's see if we can get Andrew Kurka on here faster than I did last time. So let's see if I can do this quick and get it done. Hold on. Try to make this happen. Hold on a second. I'm supposed to make this streamline, but here we go. Or not. Let's try this. Is it going? Here it is.
There
Wow.
it is.
What's
Hey
going
there.
on?
Not too much, my man. Just happy to be here. Thanks for having me, and I look forward for any questions or anything I can answer. Let people know how I'm doing. It's a little weird with this virus happening, but
It is. Well,
busy. Do lots of stuff.
Well, welcome to the Durso Dispatch. People have been describing this like the Ellen Show, so you should be pretty proud to be on here.
Happy to be here. I am honored.
Good. Well, let's get the audience to get to know you a little bit more here. So let's run through a little bit of your accomplishments here. So first of all, you're a KBF grant recipient, past grant recipient. What did we give you in the past?
You guys gave me a sled for sled hockey, which I actually do as kind of like a pastime, and I love doing to kind of stay in shape. And you guys helped me out with a hand cycle bike.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we were able to do that for you. You've been an awesome member of the KBF family and ambassador, so thank you for doing that, Kirk. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
so,
happy. Honor's mine for reals. Those things are super useful, especially because getting adaptive equipment is something that's so difficult for a lot of people.
It certainly is. We totally understand the struggle in that, so we're always happy to help. But so you're on the U.S. Paralympic Alpine Ski Team. You've won a gold and silver medal at the Pyeongchang Paralympics. You were world champion in 2017. You are still one of the best final skiers in the world. You're a country music DJ. You also bodybuilder. Now I hear you're making bed and breakfast.
The bodybuilding thing, that was like one embarrassing video years ago, man. Come on.
Sure.
I might do it again, but probably not anytime soon. But the big thing I'm doing now is I am making bed and breakfast. So like this cabin right here, I put this cabin together, and during this time, it's a good time for me to be able to really get some work done on this place. Get some good decorations in and finish just about anything that needs to be finished. So it's actually going really well for me.
That's good. So for those that don't know it, Kurka lives in Alaska. Where in Alaska do you live?
I live in Palmer, Alaska, near Hatcher Pass. It's a small ski area that is starting to expand, and I live on an airstrip. I'll have my pilot's license here in a few years, and so my big plan with this whole bed and breakfast thing is I want people with disabilities to be able to come up to Alaska, and then I'm able to take them fishing and hunting and enjoy the wilds of Alaska from the perspective of someone with a disability. And since I've grown up in Alaska and I've lived in Alaska for years, I'm able to really present the best part of the wilds of Alaska, and I really want to do that for people with disabilities. So
that's so amazing. Do you have a name for this? Do you have any idea what you're going to call it?
I was thinking the Golden Perspective.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Very enlightening.
Yeah, thanks. Just in Gandhi, no big deal. Just a Gandhi for the disabled. All
Yeah,
my big.
exactly.
Yeah. So the big thing with this is like I want to do like unusual things for people with disabilities. Like I want to cater to the people with disabilities that don't want to hold themselves back, that don't want to take no for an answer. I want to take people out ice climbing and like rock climbing and give them a chance to like climb some glaciers in Alaska, give them a chance to go like flight skiing or like backcountry skiing back in the
Yeah.
mountains of Alaska. Cool stuff like that.
Well, I'm so, and I hope you take a KBF road trip up there and like to get involved and stay at your B&B and do some all fun adventure stuff. Sounds great to me.
Heck yeah, all supporters are welcome.
Awesome. So it's
Yeah.
been like a hot minute since I've seen you last. I think it was like put in Loon back a few years ago for the Paralympic Nationals, which was like what after your World Cup scene. So it's like a big party for you guys, kind of. And was my first foray into like the actual like alpine racing, and it was like a very humbling experience to be skiing with you guys. I think what you and Josh Elliott actually like were taking bets on how many 360s you guys could do in the slalom course coming down. I remember watching that happen.
Oh yeah, we did 360s.
But that wasn't the only highlight of that event. I think everyone got food poisoning. Did you get sick during that?
I didn't get sick. No, I don't really get sick super
Never
often.
happens to you?
No,
So,
I don't get sick.
but luckily for me, I was so bad that I was like last of the pack there. So when I finished my first run, everyone had already gone inside and eaten lunch, and so everyone already ate the bad lunches. So when I got there, I had no choice but to eat the good lunch. So I didn't get sick, and that was like pretty scary. I heard people making these noises that I never even heard before it actually existed. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you were safe. But everyone, a third of the people there got so awfully sick.
yeah, that was probably when coronavirus started. That was kind of crazy.
I'm sure it was all in the Subway sandwiches back then.
Yeah, exactly.
So aside from the bed and breakfast stuff, like what else you been doing in Alaska like this time, like trying to stay active, keeping your mind at peace here?
Well, right now I'm building the bed and breakfast, so I'm doing a lot of different stuff. You see these trees over there? Those are apple trees near all my tools and stuff. I keep them in the corner of the house so the girlfriend doesn't get upset. But those are apple trees, and so I'm going to be planting a bunch of apple trees out here on the property right now. I'm just getting them prepared. I grow a lot of different stuff. I've got a bunch of mint and rosemary and like sweet peas. I like growing things so I can plant them on the property. And I'm fixing to build some garden beds, and we just installed the backsplash in one of the other cabins, and then I'm gonna start on a sauna and another airplane hangar.
You're just making everybody look bad right now. It's pretty impressive.
No, it's just stuff to do, man. They're staying busy. I mean,
well, whatever works, right? This is like that time to do that. So
yeah, I also bike a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, but I haven't recently because there's still snow on the ground, so that's kind of tough.
On the green machine?
Yeah, on the green machine. I love that thing.
It's a good one. That's right.
Yeah, so I'll be biking on that here soon. I think this rain that is coming down right now outside should clear up a lot of the snow, and then I'll be biking almost every single day.
That's awesome. Well, I hope the snow clears for you then.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, me too.
So why don't you let the audience kind of know a little bit about your backstory, right? How you when and how you got injured, and kind of that journey after that, and how you kind of got onto the ski team, and your kind of your life into adaptive sports from there.
Well, for those who don't know, I broke my back when I was 13 years old in an ATV accident. Beforehand, I was a wrestler and a pretty good wrestler. I was a 5-time state champion, and then after I broke my back, a physical therapist got me into skiing. And the moment I tried it, I was like, oh man, this is for me. Beforehand, I was like, wrestling is the way. It's the truth. It's the light. Like wrestling was like my sport. And I was like, only wussies ski. And after I skied, I was like, oh no, this is okay, I guess. And I found out that I could go to the games. It had always been like a dream of mine to be the best in the world at something. Because when I was younger, my wrestling coach, he told me, if you're ever going to be good at anything, someone's always going to be better than you. And he said it at a very like opportune moment. So I was like 8 years old. I was this young man, and I was walking off the wrestling mat after just winning my very first state championship. And he looks at me and he says, "Remember, there's always going to be someone better out there." And it was that moment that I kind of was like, okay, like, I don't get a hug or anything, like a high five, bro. And that was when I wanted to be the best in the world. I went home and I laid down and I thought about it, and I said, I want to be the best in the world at something, no matter what it is. And how do I do that? How do I be the best in the world? Mm-hmm. And I decided that being an Olympian and winning the gold medal was gonna be it. And then it was going to be with wrestling, but after I broke my back, it ended up being with skiing. And luckily, I was able to win with in Pyeongchang. I was able to make that dream come true, which was pretty awesome. So
yeah, well,
I did bring medals for everyone to see. They're in my drawers in there.
Do you like go out to the bar wearing your gold medal around a little bit, or like walk around town?
No, I'm kind of shy about it. I prefer people. I prefer people not knowing. I won it for myself, Mm-hmm. I didn't win it for anybody else.
That's awesome.
I feel like gloating about something like that makes the purpose of the victory less significant.
Right.
Personally, yeah, that's just the way I feel.
No, it's a good outlook on it.
Thanks.
Yeah. So after you got injured, what was it like getting to adaptive sports? Like, how did that how was adaptive sports really important to you?
So this is something I really like talking about, and I'm actually pretty passionate about. When I first broke my back, I spent 2 years not even knowing about adaptive sport. And I feel like a lot of people who get injured don't really know about adaptive sport right away. And it's important to kind of get the word out there and make sure that people know about adaptive sport. So I didn't know for 2 years. And then my physical therapist took me in, paid for my very first ski lesson, and bam, I loved it. And after that, I was like, I'm going to do everything I can. I started doing sled hockey. I actually got pretty good at sled hockey. But I kind of chose skiing over sled hockey because skiing's more of an independent sport, not a team sport. And I like working really hard and not letting other people hold me back. And that's just a personal thing. Some people like team sports, some people don't. And after that, I just started trying everything, man. That's it. I just started trying everything. I started hand cycling. I
love it.
Doing everything I could. And, honestly, like adaptive sport gave me like a fresh outlook on life. So it was like the moment that I tried adaptive sport, it was like, oh, wow. Like, the whole DS USA thing, like if I can do this, I can do anything. That was the way I felt after I originally tried adaptive sport. I was like, I can do anything. I just got to do it different. Like I just have to go about it in a different way. That's all it was. Like that was the answer to the one thing that I was missing in life. And that's one thing a lot of people, especially people with disabilities, don't realize is that you can do anything. You can do anything other people do. Sometimes you just got to use your brain and do it a little bit differently. You can load a kayak, you can load a canoe into the back of the truck or the back of the car, on top of your car. You can do whatever you want to do. You just got to figure out a way to do it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of ingenuity, but you can do it. And
yeah, I totally agree, man. It's like that's like what it's all about. And it's cool. I think how adaptive sports really transcends like past the sport and into your actual life. And like it like becomes more than just a sport for you and becomes like your identity and like what makes you you. So I'm sure you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I definitely do. And when it comes down to it, it turns into a lifestyle that you choose to live. So it kind of like, it opens up doors. Like you can still go out and go hiking and go up a mountain and do all kinds of stuff. You just have to have the courage to do it. Put embarrassment aside. Who cares if you have to crawl up a mountain? Get up there and enjoy the view. You're going to enjoy it more than you did when you had your legs, and that's for certain. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who
totally.
Yeah. And it's an outlook. People aren't going to they're not going to judge you negatively for it. And if they do, like Dr. Seuss that said, you know, those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. So that's all there is.
Well said, Kurka. Well said. I just love being a part of that foundation that actually promotes that and do that, because I wholeheartedly agree with you. I try to get out and do a lot of that fun stuff too. So kudos to you, man, for that. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Liam asked a question, it looks like.
Go for it. What are you going to say? Back in there.
Can you describe how it felt when they put that gold medal around your neck after all that training, hard work, and focus you had to endure?
Before you answer that, my next question was going to be just like that. So I know you went through a little bit of that was a good one. So okay. I know you went through a little bit of a struggle, right? So you had been on the ski team for a few years. You're actually going into Sochi, like doing really well, but that didn't kind of work out. So what was that journey from Sochi into Pyeongchang 4 years later? Because it's a really deep and really cool story.
Yeah, so I made the team when I was 18 years old. I'm 28 now, so I made it 10 years ago. Right after I made the team, I think it was a year or two after I made the team, I went to Sochi, my very first games. And at my very first games, off of the very first jump in the very first training run, I broke my back. I crashed and broke my back. And after crashing and breaking my back at my very first Paralympic Games, I was kind of a little down and out, you know, kind of felt rough about it. And then finally got back on snow, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to make this worth it. I'm going to be better than I ever had been. And then I broke my femur. Like my first time kid, we just had like an on-hill collision, and my femur ended up snapping. It was early season training, so there really wasn't a lot of snow. You just kind of had like the strip of death, and we were all making our way down, and I was on the downside of a knoll, and he kind of came off the knoll and whacked right into me. And so I snapped my femur, and I had to spend 3 more months in the hospital, and I got I had surgery done and a big plate and all kinds of stuff put into my femur to hold it in place. And then I got back on snow, and I was back on snow for 10 days. I was training in Aspen, Colorado at the time. I was back on snow for 10 days. And after that 10 days, I went to World Championships, and it was in Panorama, Canada that year. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take it easy. You know, I just need to finish. Otherwise, I'm not going to be on the team anymore. Like, I haven't finished a ski race in over 12 months. If I don't do well, I'm not going to stay on the team, you know? And I was like, I'd like to stay on the team. I don't want retirement to be right now.
Yeah.
And I ended up with a bronze medal and like 2 5th places, which was pretty good.
And that was you taking it easy?
Yes. And that was the moment. No, so like, here's the thing. That was the moment that I realized that, you know, sometimes taking it easy for me is what equals a gold medal. Because a lot of people in life, you know, they get out there and it takes everything they can to try to go.
Yeah.
But my overall personality and mentality is go the entire time. And so I need to kind of rein it back so I can finish. Because the first part to ever achieving victory is finishing. And sometimes it's about baby goals. And so after I broke my femur, I realized that everything in life sometimes revolves around baby goals. And I realized that because of the pain. So like, I would wake up in the morning and I couldn't crawl to the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? But I could make it like a little bit of the way. I'd make it a little bit of the way. The pain would get overbearing, and I would just kind of sit there against the wall like, oh my God, you know, what am I doing? And so the next step is to get to the door of the bathroom. And then I'd crawl to the door of the bathroom, and I'd finally get to it. And then I'd get in, and I'd finally pee. And I'd be like, oh my God, it feels so good. And then I would have to crawl back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, and so I realized at this moment, I was like, you know, if I just focus on the little things, if I focus on the little goals, if I just get myself to that next doorway, and then I just go from that doorway to the next doorway, and then I go from there to where I need to be, eventually I'll make it full circle, and eventually I'll be better than I ever was. And if I focus on every single race and every single time I skied, if I focused on something little and I just became a little bit better, then that's all that it would equal for me to be the best in the world. And that's ended up what made me the best in the world. After that, I went to Pyeongchang, and I kind of almost pissed my coaches off on a regular basis, because my coaches, they're always like, yeah, go for it, get pumped, I want you to see you crush. And I'm like, I'm just here to ski gooder than I did before. You know what I'm saying?
That's the answer.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's improper, but that's what it takes for me to achieve victory personally and victoriously. So when I finally achieved that gold medal up on the stage of Pyeongchang, everything kind of made sense for me at that moment. So I'd gone through all the broken bones, broken femurs, broken back, broken everything. I've broken a bone every single year leading up to Pyeongchang, or the year before Pyeongchang, leading up to Tarvisio, Italy. And even in Tarvisio, Italy, when I won world championships in 2017, I actually had a broken rib. And I never had it reset, but the slalom race in Slovenia just prior to Tarvisio, Italy, I had actually broken my rib, and it still sticks out. Like it.
Ooh.
Usually your ribs kind of go like this. I have one that's like, whoop.
Just like stick poking out there.
It pokes out. So whenever it comes to like doing exercising, like Superman's on the floor, I can't, because
that's in your way.
Digs in, yeah. But and so every single like little injury, every single amount or bit of pain that I've had to endure leading up to the victory was all made worth it when I was finally able to achieve that dream and achieve that goal. It was
so incredible.
Yeah, man. It was like, that's all I wanted was I can honestly retire happy now. Like, I'm still skiing, I'm still fast, I'm still pretty young, but
yeah,
I can honestly retire happy now.
I remember watching your run actually live, like during it, like in your downhill run. I was like, holy crap, like he's gonna win. It's like, it's what?
I crushed it too. That was pretty exciting.
You did. You're hauling, man, like always. So you've been in some pretty ridiculous crashes. Like, you made like Slalom Tokyo Drift a couple times on their Instagram, crashing around. Like, what's been like some of your craziest falls? We all know when you're like on a monoski, it's bad, but when you're going like 70 miles an hour on a monoski and you're in the air, it's pretty awful.
Oh yeah, some of my worst ones aren't on video, actually. I wish they were, but my worst crash ever was probably Bear's Brow in Pyeongchang.
Ooh.
And then there was another time up here at Alaska in Alaska, I tomahawked down a Christmas shoot. And so Christmas shoot, to explain it to you and to everyone, is like, it's a chute with rocks on both sides. Right. When you hit the thinnest part of it, it's only about 5 feet wide.
Oh,
so
shoot the gap.
Yeah, you can't turn and stop in a lot of it. You got to definitely choose your spot. And then the top part is just big moguls. And as I was coming down into it, I went to like slow down as I was coming into it, and the tip of my ski hit the rock and the back of my ski hit the rock, and then I just came out of my ski and like flipped down the hill, and it was very steep, boom, like that, and I just kind of went boop, ba-doop, 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 all the way to the bottom. And when I got to the bottom, I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's cool. It's good. And then I went inside and I wasn't okay.
I've done one of those in Big Sky, so I know that feels like it's like absolutely terrifying. Like just literally cartwheeling down the mountain in your monoski like an abominable snowman, and you cannot stop.
Once your ski comes off, you're pretty much
done.
Yeah. It's counting the spins.
Exactly. It's like a washing machine.
You actually hit the ground.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So you've been on the team for like 10 years. Like I think this is actually really cool. Like, what has it been like traveling around like Europe and the World Cup scene? Like, what is that like?
It's pretty awesome. It's cool. Traveling, it's a fun experience. You get a chance to experience a lot of different cultures, and you get a chance to well, what feels like live your life to the fullest. I consider life lived to the fullest is based off of experiences. The more experiences you have in life, the more you live. And so I try to live my life to the best experiences I can, and traveling the world really helps to assist with that. And I think my favorite place I've ever visited is New Zealand.
Oh,
I would suggest New Zealand to anyone and to everyone. New Zealand is a very cool and awesome place to visit. And I think that my favorite place to ski is probably Teen France.
yeah,
Yeah, France is pretty awesome just in general. Teen France, they always seem to get dumped on snow whenever the World Cup is held there, and um, their terrain is just magnificent,
that's
magnificent.
awesome.
I don't know, whatever, all of the
Well,
above.
yeah.
It's
Oh, I
it's
second you New Zealand comment for sure because I've got to go there and it's like it's an incredible place. So everyone should go to New Zealand if they can.
Yeah, for sure. Just the people, the people make the place,
For
and
sure.
it's one of those places where you can go skiing and surfing in the same day. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Have you do you guys like hang out with the other national teams? Like you guys are friends with them or like is there like a competitive nature? Like how does that work?
Oh yeah, we definitely hang out. Yeah, it's super chill. I think being Paralympic athletes or being adaptive athletes, we all kind of keep it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's been lots of situations where some of my gear is broken, and other countries have helped me, or other countries like have blown a shock, and I've had a spare shock for them to use for a race or something like that. Like
That's
it's definitely
awesome.
keep it in perspective. Yeah, it's not about winning; it's about how you win. You know?
Yeah, that's like yeah, consider any better. Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So,
Do you have any funny World Cup stories like to the different teams, like language barriers issues, or like you guys go out or anything like that?
uh, there's
It's like
stories.
PG-13 for for this
There's
podcast.
there's
Podcast.
stories.
We can just leave it at that. That's fine too.
Yeah, there's stories.
Good. I'm glad it's a good time while you guys are out there.
Yeah. What was that?
So I'm glad it's a good time when you guys are out there. Then that's
Yeah,
important.
there's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all everything that you've accomplished and going on, it's pretty cool. Like you've been a really big force, obviously in resourcing in the adaptive community. I mean, when we get some marketing applications in, like your name gets tossed out there, that they talk to you, you help them along the way. I mean, is it something that you've kind of embraced or wanted to do, or kind of fell into your lap? Like it's pretty awesome what you're doing. So I'm just curious how you feel about that.
Everything that I've done in my life, I have wanted to do. And I have made it possible to do it. And I love everything that I do, whether it be the bed and breakfast, whether it be the ski racing, whether it be being an example to others. I think doors are opened for us. And if you choose the doors you want to walk through, or roll through, whichever, then you'll you'll end up not regretting a single thing in life. And that's where I'm at. I wanted to be an Olympic athlete. I wanted to be a Paralympic athlete. I wanted to achieve victory. And so I was just going to open that door and do everything I could to accomplish it. And I could do everything to the best of my ability along the way. And when it comes to living a quiet, peaceful life, starting up a bed and breakfast, I always wanted to do that. And I figured it was a good way to make money, a good way to stay busy, even in retirement.
Yeah.
It's a way to make money, a way to help people, and a way to enjoy what I do. And so that's why I'm starting up a bed and breakfast up here in Alaska, and being an example to others is a part of what I do. And to do my job to the best of my ability, I need to be an example. And I've always wanted to help people in that fashion. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, no, thanks for being a resource. It's awesome. I mean, you just get back to everyone so quickly, and it's pretty humbling what you do for people. So thank you for doing that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I've if I can help someone else succeed in their dreams, then I've succeeded in mine, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely true. So I thought this was pretty cool too. I know you guys hosted you hosted like an advanced adaptive ski camp last year in Alaska. Like what was that like just having other people like at that level skiing with you, like, you know, disabled athletes and people like with SCIs, monoskiing, and you guys went on like a heli ski trip at the end of the trip? Like what was that like?
I didn't go on the heli ski trip actually, but the entire trip in general was awesome. I didn't go on the heli ski trip because I had caught meningitis.
Oh,
and
only you would at that time.
Dude, yeah, like I don't get sick. I've never had the flu. I don't catch colds, but I got meningitis. It was weird. So yeah.
Right.
So I didn't go on it. And I had actually caught meningitis a little bit before that, but I had some hardcore headaches, so I wasn't able to make it. But it's saying the least, it's awesome. You know, the support that I get up here in Alaska is something that is amazing. And Challenge Alaska, which is the nonprofit program here in Alaska, helps everything happen and helps to make everything happen. And I want to give a quick shout out to Logan.
Yeah, I just saw that. Thanks for helping Logan out.
Of course, yeah. Anytime, man. Yeah. Whenever I have any old skis or anything like that, I send them to whoever I can, you know, monoski ski suits, stuff like that. But
so sweet.
Yeah. So, but when it comes down to it, Challenge Alaska really helps to make everything possible. And so, like, when I have this bed and breakfast up here, people come and visit. That's going to be a huge adaptive outpouring. So it's like people who don't usually do sport, when they come up and visit the bed and breakfast, they're going to get a chance to do sport, not just go out and go like ice climbing or rock climbing and do stuff like that.
That's great. It's always hard to put into words like what it's like when you do those camps, you get like us in the adaptive community together. I think we always feel like that, you know, as comfortable we are in our wheelchairs or disability, we're still always the minority. So it's always interesting when you're not the minority anymore and everyone's kind of together, and you are just kind of feel like that normal feeling, and you're around people in the same situation as you are, and it kind of just, I keep saying the word transcend, but it kind of transcends like the experience, makes it such a better experience. So I'm sure you've been around so many adaptive athletes, and I'm sure you can agree with that point.
Yeah, it is. It's a good feeling. And when you're able to see other people, you're able to work through it with other people. And it really helps you to become better. You know, you share each other's ideas and how to achieve what you're going for. And I think that's a huge part of it. Huge part of it.
Awesome. Well, if there's any other questions for Kurka while we're on here, please feel free to shoot through. I think it's been, just post them on there, but it's been awesome having you on here, and it's always fun to talk to you about all your exciting stuff. But my last question, while people are thinking another question, like, do you have another bucket list adventure you want to go on? Something that's like a top of your list right now that you really want to do? Something really cool and adventurous?
I really want to climb Mount Denali.
Yeah?
In Alaska, or Mount McKinley, whatever people want to call it. It's technically Denali now, but I really want to climb Mount Denali, and that's something that I'm gonna do one of these days for sure. Even when I'm 40 years old, I don't care. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna try to find a way.
Zeke, do you have any questions for Kurka while he's on here? So let's see if he has a question. But do you have any idea logistically how you'd want to do that? Have you actually looked into it, or something that's just on your brain that you want to kind of?
I've looked into it, and it's on my brain. I need to climb at least 3 other peaks and show proof in the meantime. And I think that's going to be kind of one of those adventures that I'm going to want to do with others for sure. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
I'd join you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
That would be sweet. I'm in. Sign me up now. It's just like, this is great.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Game. Yeah. And then that's just one of my big bucket list things, you know, one of my personal bucket list items, I think. And when it comes to the bed and breakfast up here in Alaska, I'm happy to host anyone, do adaptive trips, go fishing. Fishing is a big thing. I love fishing in Alaska, catch a lot of big halibut, a lot of big fish.
Nice.
And I'm happy to bring people out. And if anyone on here is disabled and they want to get out and go fishing in Alaska or do anything, they can just hit me up, and I'll happily take them out to do anything. And Kelly Brush Foundation, if you guys want to make a little trip up here, a fun little trip in one of the cabins, and go fishing, Zeke.
We're in. It's awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been It's always fun to talk to you and chat, and thanks for all your insights, all your cool stuff you've ever done, and just keep playing hard, man. It's awesome.
You got it. Happy to be here. Thanks, man. Peace out.
Yeah, good luck with the B&B.
Yeah, thanks, man. Keep it real.
Later. Oops. Well, thanks, guys, for joining the second episode. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun talking to Andrew and getting his insights on what it's like to be the best in the world at something which is so incredible. But again, thanks for joining. I'll see you guys here next Thursday for our next guest. And I'm happy to be doing this. So see you guys later. Enjoy, guys. Bye.